Welcome to the Pod in Your Basement podcast, featuring Ben DeLessio and Joe Garza. They're alive, they're hungry, and they're opinionated.
You hear that?
Yeah, apparently we have a third member.
Yeah, our co-host likes to join. He comes over like right when we start. I guess that's because we start talking. But here's our new co-host. Well, I guess he's been here since the beginning.
What's his name?
His name is Lafitte. Call him French. Yeah, he's a little pirate cat. He's named after Jean Lafitte, the New Orleans privateer. He's made appearances before. I guess no people can't see him though because we don't do video anymore. But he's made plenty of appearances on previous pods. So,
well, cats have a long history with horror. Besides being, the subject of a lot of unnecessary jump scares, of them like leaping out of
they
a
kind
closet.
of are like the original jump scare.
But also, there's like Edgar Allan Poe was a big fan of cats.
Oh yeah,
H.P. Lovecraft was a big fan of cats.
Yeah,
so,
all weirdos love cats.
It's so funny. Like I went through a phase. So like I grew up with one dog.
Okay.
And she was very dear to the family, but then I spent more time growing up with cats, and like I love cats. I love
I didn't know you grew
cats.
up with cats.
Yeah, when I was growing up, we had like 4 or 5 cats. I mean, in succession, like not all at the same time.
Sure.
So I had more experience with cats.
Mm-hmm.
And I even went through a phase in my early 20s where I was more of a cat person than a dog person. I became kind of snobbish. I was like, yeah, dogs are just dumb, whereas cats are like sophisticated and mysterious, and they're very like rightly. And now I'm more of a dog person, but I still love cats. I still have a fondness for cats, but it's just I just have this like weird relationship, like up and down your relationship.
It's funny.
With cats. So
I was like kind of the exact opposite. I grew up with dogs, and again, I love dogs. I don't love all dogs. Some dogs I could do without, like little yippy, yappy, annoying dogs. Dislike, or really aggressive dogs.
Right.
But I know Chomper well. Chomper's a great dog. My kind of dog. But yeah, I grew up with dogs. Never had a cat. Didn't have a cat till my mid-20s, and now I'm like full in cat guy. Love cats. Will never have another dog or really any other pet. Just like cats, kind of the perfect pet for me.
Right.
So yeah, I have 2, and they're great.
Well,
we'll cut that.
Yeah. Or maybe like I'll just put some reverb on it. It's like, like I've got some drunk ghosts haunting my house. Okay, so today we are talking about urban legends, specifically horror movies that are based on or inspired by urban legends. Did you want to go first?
I thought the topic was urban legends we want to see made horror movies.
Oh, okay, we can talk about that too. Yeah.
Or if you want to do whatever you thought it was, or
because I sent you 2 suggestions and then you just said cool, so I wasn't sure which one you were responding
I kind of
to.
read those as the same thing. All right, so that's fine.
There's plenty of overlap. I prepared for both. So
okay, cool. I prepared for urban legends I would like to see made into horror movies.
Please tell me that Jersey Devil is
obviously
okay. Would you be cool with leading with that? Because I've got some opinion, and I love the Jersey Devil urban legend just because there's like so much there, and there's only one horror movie that I've seen that was based on it, and it was garbage. And I would love to hear your interpretation. Of
all right.
That. So start
with
with that.
Why don't we just start with it? So of course, obviously, the first thing I started with Jersey Devil. New listener, I'm from Jersey. I live in Jersey, and not only I live where I grew up was not Jersey Devil country, New Jersey.
Yeah, Pine Barrens. It wasn't near that too much.
No, not at all. I'm from Northeast New Jersey, like New York City suburbs. Where I live now is kind of like south. I'm probably like 15, 20 minutes from like deep Jersey Devil country. Leeds. So another name for the Jersey Devils, the Leeds Devil, because it's the Leeds family were this pioneering family back in the, I think, even 17th century. So like real early America.
Yeah.
I mean, not even the United States yet. Who were in the area. So in like where my wife is from, in that area, you see like Leeds Point Road, Leeds Estates. Like you see that name everywhere. And I don't know if a lot of people know that, but that's what it is. And the legend real like quickly is that the mother, it's probably more than one, but the mother Leeds had 12 children. On her 13th, she said, may this one be a devil, because she's obviously upset because she's having 13 children. And what happens after that is told differently, but pretty much it's always that one was a devil. The 13th was a devil, whether it kills the whole family or whether it just flies away or whatever it is. And it's in the Pine Barrens, which are these really, it's not just the woods. I think people think the Pine Barrens are just like the woods, but there's certain kind of woods. It's like they're called barrens because it's a sandy soil, so stuff doesn't really grow there. Like you can't really use it to grow agriculture really. So it's more of a different type of forest. It's really thick and dense, but so the Jersey Devil is of course our I should say a state that has many urban legends. We are an urban legend rich state. Weird New Jersey of course started here, and now they make weird kind of everything. I'm sure there's a weird California.
Sure,
but weird New Jersey is where it started, and for a geographically small state, we're packed with urban legends. But that is our head hunt. That's our big guy. That's our chief cryptid. Our hockey team is even named after it, the New Jersey Devils.
The Devils. Yeah,
great episode. Yeah, great episode.
Yeah.
And Patrick Warburton, I think, is really a Devils fan. He goes to the game sometimes, of course. Those memes always every season pop up. I'm a Devils fan. So anyway, okay. So Jersey Devil movies. Now, if you ask people, name like 5 cryptids, I would think the Jersey Devils, even people from all over the country, you got Bigfoot, Sasquatch. Yeah. I would think Chupacabra, maybe like Loch Ness Monster, but like Jersey Devil, I feel a lot of people know the Jersey Devil, even in Seattle. So which is so surprising that there are really very few movies made about it, and no good ones. I don't think there are any good ones. So I looked it up. I found 3 or 4, but for at least 2 of them. So I've talked about this. I think we did a whole episode on the Reckless Musecast on the last broadcast, that movie.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. That was inspired, but yeah.
But like, I even went back and read my review from, I think that's like 2 or 3 years ago. And they mentioned the Jersey Devil, but it's not a movie about the Jersey Devil, like at all.
Right.
It's kind of just, and I wrote in my review, like they put that in there to basically get people like me to watch the movie. That movie, was supposed to have inspired Blair Witch Project. It didn't. It's very early found footage, like 1998, I think. It's terrible, by the way. And again, I wanted that to be a great movie. I'm pro Jersey whenever I can be, but that movie sucks. And it's not about the Jersey Devil. So don't go watch it if you think that it's going to be about the Jersey Devil. Is the movie that you watched, was it called The Barrens?
No, the one I watched was Satan's Playground from 2006.
Okay, I don't know if I saw that one. Was that actually about the Jersey Devil?
Oh yeah, here, and I'll read you just the IMDb description of it. Satan's Playground is a supernatural shocker chronicling a family's spine-tingling odyssey in New Jersey's legendary Pine Barrens region. En route to a wilderness camping retreat, their car inexplicably breaks down. As darkness falls, panic sets in. Then the marooned family stumbles upon an ancient and seemingly abandoned house. And it is there that they meet the bizarre Mrs. Leeds, who lives there with her equally unhinged children. Offering no assistance, she warns of a violent, unseen force lurking in the forbidden countryside. Soon the family will encounter a supernatural evil older than the woods themselves.
I love that. Sorry, I love that anything described in New Jersey is ancient. Like it's like, dude, it's New Jersey. It's not Greece. Like,
yeah.
Ancient. I love that. Anyways, is there more? Or you've watched this movie?
I've seen this movie. Is
it actually about the Jersey Devil?
Barely. Like the Jersey Devil. Like, first off, the Jersey Devil never even shows up. It's more like the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, where like a family, the car breaks down and then they get tortured and harassed by some weird inbred hicks out on the countryside, right? Sure. And then it's not until like the very end of the movie where one of the characters, like, this is a super crazy low budget movie, so the way that they portrayed the Jersey Devil was they had like a POV, almost like Jaws, like Steven Spielberg's Jaws, where it's like they showed a POV of a Jersey Devil flying through,
like an Evil Dead type thing.
Exactly, yeah. And going towards a character, and then you hear like a flapping of wings, and then like the character goes, "Oh my god, what was that?" And then like you see a POV from another perspective, and then like their throat gets cut, and then that's it. It's just sort of like, okay, I guess the Jersey Devil showed up to slit someone's throat and then fly away. That's it.
Yeah, that sucks.
Because and I watched this in my early 20s, and I'd heard about the Jersey Devil legend. I might even watch a documentary or two about it, and I was like, oh, what a cool urban legend, because it is really cool. And also, I was really fascinated by the fact that there were so many eyewitness accounts that overlapped. Like it's almost like like of this cryptid of like the description of the Jersey Devil. It's like got like the head of a horse, but it's kind of like it's got like a kind of humanoid body, but it has wings. Yeah, but it's also really tall. Like, is it like it's like but so many people saw the exact same thing. Yeah, over decades, if not longer. And so like I wanted to see that in a horror movie. But all I get was this dumb POV thing in a low budget movie, and that was it. So I was very disappointed by it.
Yeah. So that's my list is, again, there are movies that exist about it, but I want like a Robert Eggers, Ari Aster quality movie about these urban legends, because some of these like they do exist. I'll go into my other ones later. Yeah, but like I don't think that exists for the Jersey Devil. The other big one I saw was something called 13th Child, which again is like I just went over the 13th Child from Mother Leeds. I think that one's supposed to be meh, like okay. So that one, or maybe it was the Barrens even. So that one, I have a note here that says Jersey Devil's barely mentioned. So it's like, again, it's just a marketing ploy, which pisses me off even more. So I want a really good quality horror about the Jersey Devil, which I don't think exists. The last one is something called Carney, and it's known as the Jersey Devil in Australia. And this is like a Canadian movie. Okay. It looks really terrible, but those are the four I have, plus the one you just said. I don't think any of those would live up to like a high quality horror. And again, it doesn't even need to be that, but like just even if it's it can be like low budget ish if it's still like a really good movie. But I think everything out there is low budget or it doesn't even really, it's not really about the Jersey Devil.
Yeah, no, totally. And I, like I said, I've been fascinated by that urban legend for a while. And it's like, that deserves some good, like, good, like a good artiste to come along and give it. Yeah. I want to learn about the Leeds family. I want to learn about that cryptid in that part of, American history.
Man, like think about like the witch. Eggers is the witch is like the same time period, I think. Yeah. Or around that. Like it could be secluded down in the Pine Barrens. It could be like it has so much to it to be kind of freaky and folkish, and it can have like a body horror element to it. Like a lot is there to make a solid hour and a half creature feature.
Hell yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Do you want to do one?
Yeah. So this is a little bit of a cheat. Okay. So So this is so this is not an urban legend. This is true, and it was turned into a movie, but it was not a horror movie.
Okay.
But it should be turned into a horror. But it did evolve into a sort of frightening urban legend that was not turned into a horror movie yet. And the reason, so I bring this up because this is the murder of Marcy Renee Conrad. So this, she was a teenage girl, and she was brutally murdered in a city very close to where I grew up in San Jose. She was killed in Milpitas, which is just north of San Jose.
Okay.
And she was killed in 1981. And this actually got some national news because the guy who killed her, he was kind of like a mentally unwell young man who walked in on his mom after she had committed suicide. I think she slit her wrists. I think he had walked in on her corpse when he was like 7 or 8 years old. And so he was raised mostly by his grandparents from then on. So he was always, but since then he was always very messed up. So anyway, Marcy, she made a joke about his mom, and then he killed her, and he dumped her body by a creek.
Oh, shit, really?
Yeah. He killed her, and he dumped her body by a creek up in Milpitas. And he told a bunch of students at this high school nearby, and the reason why it achieved some national attention was because it took several days before somebody finally told the police. So it was sort of like, oh, this is like the apathy of our youth. So this is early 80s, so you start kind of seeing like the Satanic Panic, and you start seeing sort of like this is what heavy metal and MTV is doing to our youth. So you start kind of seeing a little bit of this right at the beginning, right? So it took several days before finally somebody came forward, and then he was arrested, and I think he's still in jail. It was turned into a movie, and actually a very good movie, but not a horror movie. So it was turned into a movie in 1986, I believe, called River's Edge, and it starred Crispin Glover, who played the dad of Marty McFly in Back to the Future. Yeah. It had Keanu Reeves,
really,
and Dennis Hopper. Yeah.
Damn, those are like really big actors.
Yeah, exactly. Like the movie was kind of a flop. It was kind of like an indie drama. I watched it. It's a very good movie, but it's also very bleak. It does not take place in the Bay Area. It takes place in some like small town in the Midwest, I think. So it's got like a very bleak vibe overall, because it's a small blue collar community. Everybody comes from kind of a fucked up home. So after and it centers around a group of friends. One of the friends killed this girl because she made a joke about him, and then he dumped her body in a creek. So many of the events depicted in the movie were based on what actually happened. And so you see a group of teenagers, including Keanu Reeves and Crispin Glover, going like, "Hey, so should we protect him? Should we turn him in? What do we do?" So it shows like the apathy of the youth at the time. It's a very bleak drama, but it's a very good movie. And also, on a quick side note, Metal Blade Records provided a soundtrack, so there's a lot of 80s heavy metal songs on that soundtrack. But so I definitely recommend checking it out. But it's just a bleak, dark drama, but a very well made one.
But you want to see them make it into a horror
film, because I found out about it when I was in my early 20s, and it's funny. I actually even asked my parents about it. So when she was dumped on her body was dumped on a creek off of a road up in Milpitas called Marsh Road. So my parents, so like when I was getting into like I went through this weird phase, like when I was like in my early 20s with my friends, where like we're not old enough to drink, but like we're too old to just go to the arcade. So like, what do we do to do something fun and thrilling?
Yeah.
And nobody had none of us knew anybody who could get us beer. Nobody had a fake ID. So we wanted to do something thrilling that was somewhat legal. So let's go ghost hunting. So like I was really into like urban legends and local ghost hunting. So like we would we spent like several summers just like, okay, hey, I heard this church is haunted. Hey, I heard the cemetery is haunted. So let's go there. So we heard that Marsh Road was haunted, and there are all kinds of urban legends of like, if you park there and you leave it there for a certain amount of time, you'll see handprints on your on your car. Somebody even took pictures of like, somebody was painting like pentagrams and candles like near the bridge of where she was built. So there's all this mythology around them. And I told my parents about it. I was like, hey, I'm going to Marsh Road tonight, so just letting you guys know I'll be home late. And my parents like, oh, we went to Marsh Road. We were kids, so it's just been kind of like a decades long tradition, I guess.
Yeah.
Of like, it was closed off. It's on private property. They specifically removed the sign, so you can't even find like the road where it's on. But like, we just driving up the hills late at night. It's kind of creepy on its own. But I would love to see like a movie based on this tragic story. And I don't want to diminish the tragedy of what actually happened, but it's just like that idea of something that you experienced as a kid and your parents experienced as a kid kind of being passed down. I don't know. I think there's something interesting there that I would love to see. So that's my
it's definitely interesting that like I did not see the interesting part is that the girl like made fun of his and he just killed her.
Yeah.
Like that's crazy. I thought it was going to be, well, he's just messed up and he was a deviant and went and killed someone. And it's, oh, well, he had such a bad childhood. But it's not like the guy, like there's actually some sympathy to that.
Yeah.
Like not it's okay to kill someone for what they say, but like that's different than what you usually get.
Right. Right. She made a joke about his dead mom who he walked in on. So it was just sort of like, and just the idea of teenagers getting together, like, hey, so should we turn him in? Should we not? Should we protect him? What do we do? It was it's a pretty wild story. And one other extra little note, the guy who wrote the script for that movie, River's Edge, he actually graduated from the college I went to, Santa Clara University, and like that was actually like a short story or something that he submitted. And he got a good grade on it. So that whole story kind of has like a personal attachment for me. But
that's cool.
Yeah. So that's mine.
All right,
Benjamin.
My next one is again another surprising cryptid that does not have nearly the amount of quality movies made about it, and that's the Loch Ness Monster. I know I mentioned her earlier, Nessie.
Yeah.
So I was looking it up, and when I was thinking about it, I'm like, I guess I've never seen a Loch Ness Monster movie. I've watched like documentaries, I've read articles, listened to podcasts, but when I was looking them up, I'm like, yeah, a lot of these look crappy. There aren't many. I mean, the main one that when you look at like the Reddit horror, horror subreddit and Loch Ness Monster, everyone says Incident at Loch Ness, but that's found footage and it's Herzog, who again is incredible. He didn't direct it though, but he's like in it and he helped write it. But that's like a mockumentary, it even said, and like that's not what I'm talking about here. So this is a little bit of a twist on what I'm saying is I want like a quality horror movie, not found footage, even not mockumentary, just like a regular horror movie about the Loch Ness Monster. And I couldn't really find any that seemed like there weren't a lot at all. There was like The Water Horse, which came up, that's like a children's movie. There was a handful of animated movies.
Sure.
But like just a live action horror movie, Loch Ness Monster, I couldn't find any, which surprised me. Yeah.
I can't think of a single one. I wonder if it's just such a pervasive myth or urban legend that it's sort of like, but at the same time, it's like we have, I don't know, 200 Dracula adaptations.
And if
somebody could come along,
it's so pervasive, which means like people will go see it because people love that shit, and that's what like a big reason movies get made is because they'll make money. So you would think that would be even more of a reason. And I'm just surprised there's not like a good British horror movie about the Loch Ness. One of them I read was like one of the big ones had terrible reviews. I'm like, it was shot in Tahoe, which is surroundings do not look anything like Scotland. So Loch Ness Monster. Surprising that there's not a good horror movie out there.
So I have not seen this one, but it's on my watch list. It's called Willow Creek, and that one's based on Bigfoot. And that one was written and directed by Bobcat Goldthwait. You know that guy?
I know the name.
So
Yeah.
he's like,
What'd he
you
do?
definitely know the voice. He's got like a crazy
voice.
over the top voice. He's kind of like Gilbert Gottfried, where he has like this really so
Really?
he's a comedian. He's a comedic actor. So he usually plays like
Okay.
a small role. But
Okay.
like he's like really like ridiculous over the top voice. He wrote and directed this movie. I haven't seen it, but it's based on Bigfoot. So I bring that up because like if you can make a movie about Bigfoot, and so it's called Willow Creek. I heard it's really good. I've heard good things about it. So it's like if you can make a movie about Bigfoot and turn it into something that people actually like, you can do the same thing for the Loch Ness Monster. So yeah, I agree. Someone should come along, and I mean, like if anybody like any reasonably big name director came along, I was like, hey, I'm doing like a serious creature feature, inspired by or based on the Loch Ness Monster. I'm like, oh, finally, hell yeah, here we go.
It'd be sweet. It's it's a classic for a reason, and like, wait, Loch Ness Monster wasn't even in that. What was that series that came out with all of the? It wasn't an actual series, but it was like all those classic monster movies that kind of redid them all, like The Invisible Man.
Oh, yeah, the Universal like monster movies. Yeah.
I guess there wasn't a Loch Ness Monster one, right?
No.
Oh yeah. Anyway, all right.
Well, so I do have another urban legend that I want to bring up here that should be turned into a horror movie, and actually, this one as well is also based on some historical truth. So real quick, just a little bit of context of how I stumbled upon this urban legend. Probably 15 years ago or so, I had this nightmare where I was back in like colonial times in New England, and for whatever reason I'm just back in like
that's so funny. Okay.
Yeah, I'm there. I'm in this old like New England coastal town, and it's like 1794 or some shit. And
you're a big Lovecraft guy. That makes sense.
I am. So and this is during the time when I was reading Lovecraft. So that probably explains why I dreamt of this. And the nightmare that I had was like I'm a resident of this small coastal New England town, and it's also very stylish, very gothic looking, like it looked like Tim Burton's version of New England.
Cool.
And so I just remember being chased by a vampire, just running, across fields and old like windmills and shit, and just like, and so like just for the hell of it. So when I woke up, I was like, oh my god, what a crazy nightmare this was. So just for the hell of it, I googled New England vampires.
Okay.
And it turns out, and this I would love to turn this into a movie. There was a vampire scare in New England back in the late 1800s. So probably about 100 years after when my dream took place.
Yeah, I think I've heard of this. Go on.
Yeah, the Mercy Brown vampire incident, and this is in Rhode Island, which is where Lovecraft was from.
Right.
So this is a pretty cool story, and I think it's inspired some horror movies, but it so far no one's done like an actual staying true to the story of it. Yeah. So Mercy Brown was this young woman, I believe a teenager, and she was she developed a mysterious illness, and she started like wasting away, and then she passed away. And then they buried her, and then her younger brother started to develop similar symptoms. So like, he got pale skin, he became very lethargic, he lost so much of his energy. And his family, as well as, the villagers in this town, they all assumed that it was his sister. Somebody said, hey, what if his sister is a vampire? So they dug up her corpse.
That's what I was thinking too. Dead sister vampire. Yeah, of course.
Exactly. So they dug up her coffin, and she was, and this is months after she had died. Her body was still in very good condition.
Yeah, I have heard it's good. And
like her hair had grown a little bit, her fingernails had grown a little bit, and there's even one account that said like there was a little bit of blood coming out of her mouth. So you did the most natural, like obvious thing, which is you removed her heart, and then you burned it, and then you took those ashes, and then you put it into a potion with some other spices, and then you gave it to the boy, her younger brother.
Right. That's in the medical journals.
Exactly. Of course, this did nothing. So he still died, and he still was.
I think I know what killed him. I think it's his sister. I think it's his dead sister's ashes heart. Is what,
his diseased heart.
My diagnosis, doctor.
Into a milkshake. Like maybe that was what killed him.
Yeah, it's the necrophilic milkshake or whatever.
Exactly. He still died. And so here's what actually most likely happened was that it was tuberculosis. So this hasn't been confirmed.
That was my number 2 guess.
Exactly. Yeah. So this is not confirmed, but like it shows all of the symptoms of tuberculosis, which is you lose all your energy. All of your red blood cells are consumed by white blood cells, so you start your skin becomes pale. You become very weak. And here's the thing about Mercy Brown's corpse, why it was in such good condition. They buried her in or around winter, and I'm sure winters in New England can get very, very cold. So it's like her body was very well preserved.
Yep.
So there's this myth that like when you die, your fingernails and your hair continue to grow. That's not really true. It's more that the skin around your scalp and your fingernails recedes a little bit, so it gives the appearance that those things are growing. Right. But and also because like even though you're dead, there's still a lot of gases in your body, so it's actually possible that weeks or months or however long after you've died, your body might, like your stomach might undulate a little bit. Those are gases releasing from your body, so it's like there might have pushed some blood out of her mouth when they dug up her corpse. Right. But it's one of those things where it's like, hey, like these young people are dying of this mysterious disease. It's probably vampires. Let's dig up that corpse. Oh my God, it's in perfect condition. She's been leaving her grave every night to suck on her son. So that's probably what it is. Yeah. I would love to do a serious take on that and not do the tuberculosis, like leave out the tuberculosis and do like, what if Mercy Brown was a real vampire? Yeah. What if she actually was feasting on her own family? Yeah, that'd be sweet. And in New England, in like this very like sort of antiquated, but they do like a very like stylishly gothic, Tim Burton inspired look. I think that'd be a cool horror movie. But that's one that I always thought was pretty interesting. But also like this took place in the late 1800s. You would have thought that around this time in America, we probably would have been like, yeah, let's.
It's not that long ago, right?
Exactly.
Like, yeah.
Before you go, it's probably a vampire. It's got to be a vampire.
Vampire. That's great.
So that's my contribution to that one.
Okay. I have a couple of time. Where are we in time? All right, we're good. Yeah. I have another. So like you, I think this is probably a thing a lot of young men go through, kind of searching out urban legends. And like I already said, Weird New Jersey was Weird New Jersey a big part of New Jersey culture. It really got big. Like the books, the magazines were around, I want to say in the 90s, late 90s. I'm not exactly sure, but then they put them all together and made a book that was like a bestseller or a huge seller in New Jersey. I had both of them. One came out later, but the first one I remember was like the black cover with I think it was like a vulture or something on the front. Yeah. So we would just go through those and kind of check off ones that we could go to. So a lot of them are in North Jersey. They all seem to be in Passaic County. That's like a haunted freaking county, but that's where like Patterson is. It's a unique county because it has like as urban can be, and then there's like backwoods urban legends of like KKK rallies and shit, and it's like everything in between, nice suburbs, and everything in between. So this one's called Clinton Road, which I have been to myself. It's considered the most haunted road in, I don't know if it's America or what, but I've been on this road. It's up in West Milford, which is the end of the spectrum. That's like backwoods. We would call them hicks and stuff growing up. Right. We would play them in football. That we'd say that they had like Klan rallies and shit. But Clinton Road is like single lane, I believe, on each side. And what makes it so terrifying, and it's a legit scary road, is that the forest on either side of it is like super thick, dense, like you can't see through it, and that is what it almost gives it like a tunnel effect. And the legends are, there's a number of legends on this road. I'm going to give a story here from high school when we were there. That one of them is that you can see, like, peek through and you can see, white supremacist rallies going on, bonfires and shit. Or the one that scared us was a truck will start following you. And so we were doing this. It was nighttime. Yeah, it was like night. I want to say it was like early night. So I think the sun had definitely gone down though. I'm with a bunch of friends. I'm in the back seat, and a truck does start following us. And of course we're freaking out. And one of my friends, we're driving pretty fast, and the truck is like staying on us. And one of my friends takes an M80 and lights it and tosses it out the window, the passenger side window. But because we're going so fast, it comes back in the backseat window and explodes in the back seat. And I remember my friend just go, "Oh, fuck." And I'm just like, and I'm in the back, and I just go, "Oh," like, I don't say anything. I just like curl up in a ball, and it's the loudest. It's my Vietnam. It's like the loudest noise I've ever heard in my life. The car fills up with smoke. We're screaming. Can't see anything in front of us. Extremely dangerous. Like the dumbest shit, the dumbest things we've ever done. Can't see anything in front of us. Screaming while the car is just like breathing smoke. Eventually, we, it empties out, and we enter civilization again. It turns out it's just like a bunch of high schoolers like we are who are behind us, doing the same shit. But so I say all that to say that, like, I think a good Clinton Road movie would be fun. It could be like I think that could be not like a highbrow horror, but just like a good, like, it was in the summer. We had finished football practice early that morning, and it's just kind of like something to do. And it could be like a fun kind of teen horror movie. Again, something quality, not like some of these really crappy ones that have come out recently. I just watched Hell of a Summer. Did you see that movie?
No, I haven't seen that one.
It's awful. It's right now literally the worst movie I've seen of the year.
Oh shit!
Because I have it on Letterboxd, just of 2025. It's literally last. It's awful. So anyway, like, it could be a good kind of nostalgia teen horror movie based on Clinton Road. That would be fun, and they could, I'm sure, film somewhat on location if they needed to. But it's just like this desolate, scary road that dumbasses like us have been visiting for years.
I'm so glad that you brought this up, because I actually have a very similar story. Like, there's also like another haunted.
Like, we all do.
I mean, there's something wonderfully American and nostalgic about, like, when you're a teenager or you're a young adult, and you're just like, hey, let's go down that creepy old road at night. You're just looking for something to do. It's summer, and maybe, you're just looking for something to do. So for us, it was Hicks Road. So this is in the southern part of San Jose. So it's like between San Jose and Santa Cruz. So Hicks Road. I just want to read you a short description of it. So winding through Almaden Quicksilver Mines is Hicks Road, a locally known road that is rumored to be inhabited by satanic cults, cannibals, or blood-sucking beings, but no evidence has been found to support any of these stories. Yeah, and it's funny because, like, the version I heard was that it was populated by beings that were all of those things. They were satanic, albino, like hillbillies,
dude. So, in where I was just talking about, there are legit people called the Jackson Whites that are inbred albino cannibals or some shit. And there was a movie made about them. I think with Sean William Scott's in it.
Oh, really?
I think.
Yeah.
And it's like, I don't know if they're cannibals, but like there are people who just live off the map up there in fucking Passaic County.
Yeah.
And they're like inbred. I don't know exactly the detail. I don't know if they're still around, but that was shit like my dad knew. My dad would be like, oh yeah, Jackson Whites live up there. They're inbreds, like the same thing. So yeah.
Yeah, no, and my parents again knew about this. We're like, oh yeah, you know, sometimes when we were teenagers, we would drive up to Hicks Road. Yeah, and also like I feel bad for albinos. Like, they're the source of so many urban legends of like, you got pale skin, therefore you must be, you know, a vampire.
They get murdered in Africa, and like put in like a witch doctor soup and shit. Like it's horrible. Like in Tanzania, albino people are like hunted.
Yeah. And then in America, we just turn into urban legends.
Yeah, we make movies about you. Yeah. I'd much rather be here.
Exactly. Yeah. But so my friends and I had driven with them on that road multiple times. I had never, when I was with them, we never experienced anything particularly creepy, except this one time. There was one, you know, and it was probably some hobo out in the middle of the night, just being a weirdo. But that was it. That was the only thing that I ever saw when I was with them. However, the one night that I didn't go with them, they went without me. They were just like, oh yeah, me and Edgar, we were feeling bored, so we were just kind of driving around at night, and we ended up on Hicks Road. They ended up in some small backwoods town, and like the only way to get into this town was like one like little like a narrow 1-lane bridge over a creek, and they ended up in this town. And you know, all the lights were turned off. It's completely dark, but there are you know, several little houses and things. Yeah. And one of my friends, he does have a tendency to exaggerate. The other one does not. So I believe his side of the story. But the friend who has a tendency to exaggerate did say there was one house that they saw like the curtains quickly close as if they were being washed. Yeah. And so they had to go into the only way to get out of this little neighborhood was to go into a driveway and then pull back out and then go. And so they got out of there. And I'm like, oh my God, you guys, like, let's go back. You gotta take me back. And like, no, fuck that. We're never going back. But it's one of those things where the one fucking night, like, you know, like I've gone with them like a dozen times on this road. We never saw anything extremely spooky. The one time that I'm not there, they end up in some weird little Texas Chainsaw Massacre town. I will say this though, there is like a little Swedish colony I want in the southern part of San Jose. Yeah, like they have like a midsummer. Yeah. Apparently they do have like a midsummer festival every year.
No, stay away from that shit.
I know, exactly. I wonder if that's where they ended up, because I couldn't find any specific neighborhood or town. That was the only one that I could find on Google Maps. And you know, this is like, you know, early 20s.
I just love the idea of like this untouched Swedish town in San Jose and like the San Jose
in California area. Like
that's hilarious because they're just murdering everyone who comes there.
But so far Hicks Road has not been turned into a horror film. But it sounds it's got all the grounds for it though.
We could do a double feature: Hicks Road, Clinton Road.
Yeah, exactly. There's so much overlap there. But but like when they told me about it and I did some more research into it, I was like, was it really like, you know, like some weird backwoods town out in the mountains, or was it just like this, you know, this nice little Swedish village they wandered into in the middle of the night? Was it really that scary?
Yeah.
But they did, you know, like my one friend, who I trust, he's not, an exaggerator. He was like, it was definitely creepy. Like there was one teeny tiny, like 1 lane to get in and get out. You had to go into someone's driveway to get out. All the lights were turned off. There was nobody there. Yeah. It was creepy. And so like, I don't blame him for wanting to get the hell out of there, but,
right.
Yeah, I would love to see that turn into a horror movie though.
All right.
No. Okay. What about you, Benjamin?
Well, I have a couple more, but they can be quick.
Yeah.
Basically, this is another Jersey one. There is a movie called this, and I don't know if it's any good, so I will say that. But what's funny is, so in New Jersey, there's something called Mischief Night, which is a very Jersey thing. I think they call it that in some other places, but it's the night before Halloween. I know in Michigan it's Devil's Night, because I know Eminem had a song called Devil's Night, and that's the thing. I think there it's a lot more violent. It's like setting shit on fire. But Mischief Night is a big Jersey thing, and it's just kind of petty vandalism on the night. Like, it's, think of it like TPing houses and stuff.
Yeah.
Again, it's not like petty, but it's annoying. But that kind of shit. And there is a movie that came out 2013 called Mischief Night. And when I looked it up, the Wikipedia page says that the writers for it are both from New Jersey. So I thought that was interesting. Again, that's kind of like evergreen. It's Halloween time. It could also totally be like kids effing around, and then there's a legit threat, and like the kids think they're real tough and doing this kind of stuff, and then there's like an actual murderer. Again, so there very well might be a movie about this that's good out there, this one, but I don't know. So I'll move on from that one. But I always thought that would be a cool movie setting. In fact, I wrote a short story that takes place on Mischief Night called Hallucinogenic Jimmy, which is about a kid who gets caught in the crosshairs or in the crossfire, I should say, of like a gang war, and dies and is buried, and mushrooms grow out of his body, and then people who eat those mushrooms hallucinate him, and he kills them. And
this was published on the Reckless Muse.
Yes,
I think.
yes,
Medium,
yeah. And I wrote that actually in high school as a earlier draft of it, and then I rewrote it years later. But anywho, that should be a movie. Listen, Jenny. All right, let me finish mine, and then you can finish up. For good. So my last two, and one will take 10 seconds. So that's my last two. This one, I'm not making this shit up. I've been on the record, and anyone who's ever asked me this, I've never changed. I don't even want to say my story, because I tell clients in front of the judge, those who don't know, I'm a lawyer, don't use the term story. I've had at least one judge really not like that, because story implies fiction. So this is not my story. This is my lived experience. This is my experience.
This is your truth.
This is my truth. I have seen ghosts. And my college, I went to a school called Ursinus College. It's in southeast, like suburban Philadelphia, southeast Pennsylvania, and it's known for being haunted. On what are called the Main Street houses. Basically, the school bought up a bunch of like nice houses that are across the street from the school for student housing, and I lived in one of them just for a semester my senior year. And I saw a ghost there. My friend also saw a ghost at Ursinus College. Separate incidents, separate buildings, and it is known as a haunted school. So I would love for an Ursinus College movie about, and the ghost I saw was a young woman just kind of crying in the middle of my room. And I was like, I asked her, "Are you okay?" And she just vanished. So it wasn't particularly scary. I've had other scarier encounters, but my other friend also saw a ghost, seemed much scarier. He like reached out to it and it vanished, like kind of in his hands. But Ursinus College, the small liberal arts school in southeast Pennsylvania, is haunted, and there should be a movie made about it. Because. Awesome. Lastly, this was an urban legend that I don't know how far this got, but my friend and I just created it, and that was that if you sneeze, cough, burp, hiccup, and fart all at the same time, you explode. And I think that would be a really funny movie, because it could be like someone does all those. They're like, just don't fart, just don't fart. So they fart and just explode. So yes, I think there should be a movie called Squeeze, Cough, Burp, Hiccup, Fart. Again, that was something like we just used to say that as kids. But that's it.
So I've got a couple here. So this is one that I've been to, and as far as I know, it has not been turned into a horror movie yet. So in San Diego, there's there's a historical park. It's just called Old Town San Diego. It's really cool. I've been there a few times. And it's just like, like this collection of old buildings and businesses that have been around since, I don't know, like 1700s or something like that. It's really cool. But there's, I think it's a courthouse that's still there. It's known, it's called the Whaley House. And it's known as one of the most haunted places in America. So I've done 2 ghost tours there. One was, and these were both at night. So the first time I went with friends, it was cool. It was kind of creepy, but nothing supernatural really happened. But I went again years later with my parents, and somebody took a photo, and they actually encourage you, take pictures, take video, whatever you want. We love the idea of you guys. If you guys can capture something supernatural, do it. Go for it. Sure. So somebody took a photo, a picture on their phone of it. Looked so much like a woman in like an 18th century, like an 1800s dress.
Yeah.
With like the big billowy skirt. And it's weird because it looked so much like a ghost. She was like see-through. But there was just enough details that you go, oh, that's a woman. But so we were all like, oh my God, this is crazy. And like the guy, it was a kid, and he showed the tour guide, and the tour guide's, oh my God, I've been working here for so many years.
You were on this tour?
I was on this tour, and the tour guide was like, oh my, I've worked here for years. And I've seen some pretty creepy photos. And
I've just been making shit up this whole time.
He goes, that's the best photo I've ever seen of any like spirit or entity here. It was like, holy shit, this is crazy. So it was a courthouse. So they used to hang people outside. So I would, if any place is haunted, that's probably gonna be one of them. And then right next door, or I think a couple a couple storefronts down is a cemetery, and it's a cemetery that's been around for at least 150, 200 years. And what's cool about it is that you can go into it, like it's open 24/7, so you can go there in the middle of the night, and there is the grave of a little girl, and supposedly if you go there and if you give her, like if you leave candy or flowers or toys on her grave, and you say something like, hey, I'm so sorry that I know exactly what her backstory was. I don't know if she was killed, or something like that, but if you say something very nice to her and you leave an offering to her, she'll appear. My friends and I did it, and we didn't see anything, but it is very cool being in a cemetery at night. Even though it's totally legal, it's totally open to the public, but it's still cool. Just walking around, 150-year-old graves at night. That's one thing for me. One other thing too is that there was a cemetery that my friends and I used to go to when we were doing like our ghost hunting thing. And it was in Santa Cruz. What was cool about the cemetery is that it was established in the mid to late 1800s, I think. So recently old. And there are graves there that have been around for a long time. But what's cool about it is that it was right on the edge of the woods. So it just kind of goes uphill and it just kind of disappears into the woods. And there are like redwoods growing out of graves. So they're like tombstones that are crooked.
Yeah.
It's really fucking creepy. We've only been there during the day. We've never been there at night. But I do remember there was one gravestone that had a pentagram, like it wasn't graffiti, like it was actually professionally carved into this one person's thing. I took a picture of it and I looked it up, and I couldn't find anything about this person. I don't know if they were like a prominent Satanist or something. But it's definitely one of those things. You walk in and just crumbling old tombstones that are crooked, and it just gradually disappears.
It seems like at least something that could be a setting for a movie, or like
oh my God, you felt like you were on the set, like this is not real, this is for a horror movie, this is for a zombie movie. And it was like, holy shit, this is like 45 minutes away from where we live. Like,
I was just talking to my wife about this. Like, there's a kind of famous, do you know what the Garden State Parkway is? Like, have you heard of that? No.
I almost did an article about that. I know it's supposed to be haunted.
Oh, the graveyard.
I know that the Parkway is supposedly haunted. I don't know much else about it.
Oh no! I was just wait. The Parkway's haunted.
That's what I heard. Yeah, in New Jersey, right?
Yeah. I haven't heard. I mean, it does go through the Pine Barrens, but
Oh, okay.
It's more of like, imagine you die in like 1912, and then you're just like resting, and then all of a sudden they plow the Garden State Parkway like right back. Like there are graves that are like up against the Garden State Parkway, and I'm like, these poor souls have to deal with that kind of shit. Or like and there's another one that was funny like recently, or there's one I remember. It'll be like, it's like a few feet from some power box or something, and I'm like, this soul has been buried here probably for at least 70, 80 years. And then they just like install some power thing 10 feet from it. Anyway.
Isn't there like a docked ship that's like old and like rusty that you can see off of the parkway that didn't used to be something, and now it's kind of abandoned and supposedly haunted or something?
I don't think so. Off the parkway,
I think so.
I think there's a ship like Camden dockyards. There might be, but that's not the parkway. That's like the other. That's like all the way across the state near like Philly.
No,
that might be it. But yeah, and they were just taking something out recently. I forget if it was Philly or Camden for like a one last voyage to sink somewhere to turn into reefs or whatever it is. But yeah.
I have one more, and it's funny because or rather two short ones. So we have a theme park up in the Bay Area called Great America. You know, I've been there a lot as a kid, but supposedly that one is haunted because, and here I'll just read a brief description of it. The first reports of paranormal activity came after a 13-year-old boy was killed in a collision at the Willard's Whizzer roller coaster in 1980. Since then, there have been reports from graveyard shift employees of hearing footsteps on a bridge where the ride once sat. Employees have also reported cold spots, unaccounted for laughing, flickering of carnival lights, and more. So I didn't know that until like much after I'd been there a bunch of times as a kid. I do remember going there as an adult and for a Halloween thing with a group of friends, and like, you know, they had like mazes and shit, and the mazes were so bland and disappointing that I remember having a very friendly, like casual conversation with a friend about much better haunted mazes during like as we're walking through, because like everything about it was so like predictable. It's like, oh yeah, I bet you somebody's gonna pop out from behind that thing. Oh, there you go. Anyway, so have you been to the one? It's like, hey, have you ever been to so it's like, it was just so bland, but you know, it was meant for like ghetto, you know, 14-year-olds and not like adults. So that's Great America. And then there's one more. So are there Chuck E. Cheese's on the East Coast? Like, did you guys?
Yeah, man. Yeah, okay. There's Chuck E. Cheese. Yeah.
Okay, just making sure.
Yeah.
So there's one. It's funny because like I still pass by, like every time I drive to my parents' place, there's one that's on the intersection that you see right off of 101, pretty close to where my parents live. So there was one, and again, been there a lot as a kid for birthday parties and stuff. Supposedly that one's haunted as well. The story goes that the little girl wandered up to the third floor.
Wait a minute. It's haunted Chuck E. Cheese.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so funny. So like if you go to like Europe, it's like haunted castles from the 15th, like 14th century.
Right, we have
haunted Chuck E. Cheese,
or even more American, like a haunted Buc-ee's or something.
Haunted. I love that meme that has like a Buc-ee's billboard in the south of, and then right next to it, it's a billboard. It's like hell is real. It's like the Buc-ee's beaver, or whatever the fuck it is.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
So you know, with the animatronic, you know, stupid band or whatever.
Yeah.
So the story goes that the little girl wandered up to the third floor when the building was occupied by then Magic Village toy store and fell to her death from a balcony or window. Employees have reported seeing a face peering out of that upper window, sounds of children after hours, and malfunctioning lights. But here's the weird part. No deaths have been recorded at the location. Paranormal investigator Nick Groff has a theory that a tulpa, which is a thought form energy from Tibetan Buddhism, might be at play.
I do. That's what I thought.
Yeah, exactly.
I thought Chuck E. Cheese in California. I thought Tibetan Buddhist ghost.
No, exactly. Oh, and there's one where I just remembered. Again, very quick one, and this is one that my friends and I have been to.
Hold on, but to be clear, you want them to make a movie about the haunted Chuck E. Cheese?
Yeah, but I think they kind of already did with Five Nights at Freddy's or whatever.
Yeah, right. I was gonna say that.
Yeah, but there's one kind of cool one that I went to with my friends.
Mm-hmm.
There's this one part of San Jose that's like a historical park, so they have like old ranch houses, and you can take tours there, and you can do churn butter or some shit. So there's a little pond, a very cool scenic little pond. It's kind of up on a hill and it's surrounded by trees, and it's known as Dottie's Pond. And this part is supposedly true. That whole area was owned by a pretty wealthy family, and there's a little girl. I don't remember exactly how old she was. I think she was under the age of 10 though. The story goes that she did drown in that pond, but there are different versions of the story, which is that when she was playing by this pond, a hand came up and pulled her under, and then her body was never found and stuff like that. But the urban legend is that if you go up there and you say something like, I'm so sorry that you died at such a young age, she'll appear or something will happen. So my friends and I, we actually went there at night, but we forgot that it was after hours of the park. And so somebody so right across the street, there's a residential neighborhood, and somebody apparently called the cops on us. As we're and we weren't even drinking, it's not like we were doing anything deviant. We were just up there hanging out there for a bit, and we came back down, and then there's a police officer right there. All right, boys, come down, come on. No sudden movements. Come on, let's go. And so it's oh shit. And then we had to take off our shirts in front of this guy. He probably wasn't even a cop. He's probably
it's a perp. And some Halloween outfit, and a flashlight. All right, boys, drop them.
Exactly. He let us go with the warning, but it was just oh man. He goes, hey, it's a beautiful park. Come here during the day, but don't come here at night. Yeah, but there's no gate. There's no it's open. There's no there's no lock on the gate. So we just wandered in. But anyway, I thought Dottie's Pond, an interesting part of San Jose history. Similar to the Winchester Mystery House.
Right.
They did make a movie about that with that one British chick. Who's that old British actress?
Dame Judi Dench.
You're getting warmer.
Vanessa Redgrave,
getting warmer.
Old British actress.
Mystery House,
brother. That's a ton.
I know. Hold on, 1 second. Winchester. Helen Mirren.
Oh, that's actually funny because that is I could have gotten Helen Mirren.
Yeah, they did make a movie about the Winchester Mystery House in 2018. They only shot parts of it there because you're not allowed apparently to shoot inside. There's just too much historical crap there, but they did shoot part of it on the grounds there. I heard the movie was not very good. I personally would a dream project of mine would be to make a serious movie and actually be able to shoot there extensively. I've had friends who've worked there, and this is in high school, so they were probably making shit up, but the usual stories of I was the only one working in that part of the house. But then I heard footsteps, or I put stuff away, and then I leave, and I come back, and then all of a sudden scattered all over the place. But yeah, just the usual stuff. I would love to see a good gothic horror film about that story because it is a pretty fascinating story. But instead we got Helen Mirren in a subpar movie. But
that's all we can ask for.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, Benjamin, I think that's it for me.
That's it. I think that's it for tonight.
Yeah. And then next week we start Spookfest or
Horrorfest.
Horrorfest, yes.
Horrorfest.
Yeah, we officially enter October.
That's right.
So we'll be devoting each episode to a different subgenre of horror. And what's interesting about horror is that there are so many subgenres of horror too. You don't see romance or drama that have as many there's body romance, or there's
it's just called porn.
Exactly. But all right, Benjamin.
All right.
See you in the basement.
See you in the basement.